Doom, doom, doom.
Tales of
The Fourfold Path.
brought to you by
Dungeons
and Dragons.
I'm going to do an interaction between Elwiz and Casernia.
Pretty cool, huh?
That's pretty neat.
Do that again.
Okay.
How close is what Elwiz is doing as far as creating some cool effect or encroaching on her space?
Casernia was trying to show she had something cool she could do. Elwiz was like, I'm going to snuff it out. Casernia was like, yeah, do that again. Elwiz was going to back
Pressing
off.
her button.
Pal comes over. What's going on over here?
That's perfect. In the morning, they're going to regroup and travel on. Casernia, already having arrived there, may or may not have made arrangements. Pal and Elwiz haven't yet.
I have Elwiz get up. He's pissed off Casernia a little bit and asks if there's any rooms available.
Elwiz gets up from the table, goes over to the bar, sees the innkeeper, asks if a room is available. Hold on a second. Finishes cleaning out some mugs, pours out some ale and hands it over to a patron. How can I help you?
I'd like to find out if there's any rooms available. We just need a night.
Well, one night, we should be able to accommodate you. How many rooms do you need?
I think 2 rooms.
2 rooms? Okay, that'll cost you 10 silver pieces, 5 each for the night.
Can we make it 4?
What would you say or do to try to convince or persuade the innkeeper to lower their price? And I'll have you roll a persuasion check off your character sheet. What's fun is that you can flavor it up or not. There's a reason why you should give me 4, not 5.
I'm going to be somebody someday. And when I am, you're going to be thinking, wow, I shouldn't have charged him anything.
A compelling argument you make. Now, at this point, I'll have you roll.
In some circumstances, using my mouth could cause the thing I want to have happen.
Oh, I love that you asked that question. Players will say things out loud, like if they're in combat and they're saying, hey,
Yeah.
run over there. That's great that
Everyone
they can
can
say that
hear
to each
it.
other. And everyone can hear it.
I actually got something pretty high.
You did, as a matter of fact. So
Yeah.
16 with a modifier of -1 is 15. When you're rolling against something, sometimes it's called difficulty or DC. If you've already pissed off this innkeeper, the DC would go
Okay.
higher. But if
Oh,
it's like
funny.
a straight up interaction,
It's like real life.
why is he charging me more now? You rolled a 15. The barkeep says, well, you know what? I like that. Confidence. I think you should get a room for 4. Done deal.
Here's 8 silver pieces.
Mina here will show you to your room when you're ready, as soon as she's finished with those customers over there. You can grab up all your stuff from the table. Casernia will be walking up at the same time. She already has a room. Mina's done with those other customers. She folds out something from her skirt. You see like a ring of keys. She cruises up those stairs. She leads you over to the 3rd room on the left. It's a modest room. It's got a bed, a wash basin on top of a dresser. It's got a small little stand next to the bed, and it's got some hooks and pegs on the wall. And there's a small mirror above the wash basin. She moves on to the next door. The decorations are a little different, but it's pretty much the same accommodation. Mina pauses and has her hand out a little bit to the side. Oh, will there be anything else?
I'd like an extra pillow.
It might take me a little bit, but I'm sure to bring you up one. Holds her hand out a little further.
Here's a bronze piece, copper piece.
You give her 1 copper piece? She's like, oh, yeah, I'll make sure not to spend this all in one place as she leaves.
Is that like tipping a quarter at the valet? I'm not getting a pillow.
When adventurers travel and they're either in a comfortable inn or they're out in the countryside on sleeping bags around a fire, there are certain things they do when they rest up. In this case, you're resting at night. In the game, call this a long rest. Regaining your strength, your reserves.
The storyline is such that I get a long rest.
Correct. So you're getting the benefit of a long rest by sleeping this night. And you're not only sleeping comfortably, but you're sleeping someplace safe, maybe.
Yeah.
And there are other things that happen mechanically during a long rest. Like it's not all just sleeping.
It's not long sleep.
It's a combination of things you do. You could sharpen your sword for a little bit.
It would get worn out as I was battling with it.
Some DMs have very ultra realistic worlds where that does happen. If you bang your sword against an iron door,
This is Blacksmith customer support. I'm sorry, that's out of warranty.
you did what with it? Pal's in one room, Elwiz is in the other. Casernia had already gone down for the night. Outside of Casernia's window, it's kind of slid open a little bit. Casernia hears some strumming of that same music that you guys had heard earlier from while you were downstairs. Wafting through the air, you hear some of the singing that's going along very melodically with the lute. Celebrate the star on every tongue. Shine with lyric, sing the song, we belong. Lyric's voice is the dawn's first light. Soon all shall hear. Sing along as we sing this song. And then it keeps repeating.
Oh, I just want some sleep. Casernia gets up. She looks out the window. She walks up to it. aware of herself and her presence. She doesn't want to come out of the shadows.
She's able to look down, and you see that standing atop a brightly painted wagon, festooned with colorful lanterns, a flamboyantly dressed bard strumming a lute, grinning broadly. There's some youths, a couple farmhands, there's a couple guards singing along.
10 people, 20 people.
Maybe a dozen people at the most, mixed ages, watching and enjoying the performance. And then the bard pauses from the song and says, "Step right up, a gift for the ear, a mark for the soul," and then starts tossing these ribbons out. The younger ones, like the teenagers and stuff, they're running in and scrambling to try to grab it and grabbing it from each other and grabbing it off the floor. Ribbon of silver paper being waved up in the air. You can tell like it's starting to come to a crescendo. Shine with lyric, sing the song, together bright, together strong. Strumming really loudly on the guitar, and da-da-da, with a bang, slams his hand onto the back of the guitar and says, "Thank you." So now that it's quiet, Casernia can actually get some rest. Elwes hears a knock at the door, just a couple knocks. Pop, pop.
Who is it?
No answer.
He grabs the handle of the door, opens it quickly.
That little hallway, it's empty. You look down, you see a burlap sack stuffed with something. It's lumpy, shedding. I hear a faint little chuckle echoing down the hall.
Elwes opens it.
So as you hold it up, it falls apart. It's filled with chicken feathers, odds and ends. You do find a little ribbon, a little silver ribbon.
He grabs it and holds on to it. The rest of it, he just kind of leaves there.
Just leave on the floor.
And he takes the ribbon and he puts it in his pocket.
And chicken feathers in a burlap sack. Do you want to keep those?
That's my stash. That was Mina's revenge,
Maybe.
I'm guessing.
All right, so the rest of the evening is uneventful. In the morning, is there anything else you want to do before you head on out, get your horses?
Pack their stuff, go downstairs, get something to eat, and go to the stable, get their horses, and be on their way.
It's early enough where there's not a lot of patrons yet. There's a couple of other people who've come down having some breakfast. The server, she brings you some food. It's not something lavish unless you want something lavish. You finish up, you go towards the stables. The sun's just starting to come up over the outpost walls. It's still cool. There's a little bit of grayness to the sky. As you exit, the stables are to your left. The merchant caravans and wagons are all to your right. The sun starts to come up a little higher in the sky. It starts to get a little warmer. The dew off the nearby brushes and trees starts to burn off a little bit. By midday, the road southward towards Hamlet shoulders through a narrow cut in the Cron Hills, only wide enough for your horses to ride in single file. Nearby, brambles sway as a heavy breeze picks up from behind you, tugging at cloaks and stirring leaves. From the undergrowth ahead, a wet rustle, the sound of a snapped twig, and a low, rasping breath. Your mounts snort, ears alert. Something lurks close by.
I need to know what something is. I'd like to do a perception check amongst my crew. Pal rolled. Elwiz rolled.
Elwiz rolled a 20.
Elriz.
Elrizzo. Casernia rolled an 8. Of the three of you, Elwiz really is able to peer through the underbrush. Through the tangled branches, you glimpse a lurking shape. It's crouched low, its eyes are clouded, its hide is marred with festering sores. Something unnatural seems to be gnawing at it. With a guttural squeal, this large boar bursts forth from the undergrowth. Its tusks are gleaming. Its hide is patchy, mottled with gray, and its body shakes with unnatural fury. Opaque cataracts cloud its eyes. There are these pus-filled sores that crack as it moves, haunches downward, kicks at the dirt, and snorts, looks up at you.
So we want to keep away from that.
Unfortunately, it's on the road ahead of you on the path that you're traveling along.
Okay.
A natural taint is driving it to this behavior, compelling it to look at you with ravenous hunger. We're going to do something called Roll for Initiative. In an encounter, we get into this turn-based mode. So I'm going to have Pal roll first. The rolls really dictate ability to react to a situation the split second that things are occurring around you. So let's go ahead and do that. Your first official initiative rolls.
Boom. Pal.
Pal rolled an 8.
Elwiz. Oh.
Wow. Elwiz had the best perception roll, so it was not surprising that Elwiz was able to react more quickly than the others.
Well, not bad.
And then Casernia with a
Well.
12. Elwiz is going to actually get to go first. Then Casernia, then Pal.
So we're in
Right.
battle mode now.
Correct.
Oh, our first battle. Okay.
It's your first battle.
Exciting.
You should be able to see, let me know if you don't, riding along the bottom half of the map.
Okay. Oh, I can scroll in. Here we go. Okay. Sorry. I'm just getting excited because I'm actually seeing foliage. I see shadows moving. Oh, this is awesome. The wind's blowing. I'm seeing the boar.
It had just jumped out from those bushes,
Okay.
and that's where you're seeing it
Ooh.
up ahead on the road. You see those grid squares? Each one of those represents a 5-foot block of space.
I see a little grabby hand. A grabby hand so you can pan.
Go ahead and practice with that.
I grabbed Casernia.
Oh, you grabbed Casernia and you moved it. Okay, don't do that.
I can pan by grabbing it just anywhere in the map.
When it's your turn, you can move your token. And your token is representation of your character. I would move the horse for you. You're only able to move your character token. There's a little ruler, and I want you to practice with that. And you can measure the space between, in this case, Pal and that boar up ahead on the.
44 feet.
In a turn,
I
you can
remember
move
something
up to
30
go ahead.
feet.
Exactly. And you don't have to move all of your 30 feet on your turn. You can attack from a distance. You can close the distance up to
Right.
the maximum amount you can move in your turn. Don't be constrained.
I'm going to fall off the edge into the gray area.
So now that we have the initiative established,
But it's Elwiz who's going first.
based on your rolls, you do not know how the boar rolled. And if they roll better than you, they might go first.
So at the top, I see Elwiz, Casernia, Boar, and Pal.
Elwiz is able to go first. Combat goes in sequences of rounds. After everybody takes their turn in this round, we begin the next round, round 2, 3, 4. Elwiz has a number of things that they can do. You can attack, dash, disengage, dodge. They can also move. Move 10 feet, attack, and then move 10 more feet.
You would say, I want to move, attack, move.
You could say, I want to move 10 feet, I want to attack. And then I'll say, well, you have some movement left, do you want to use it?
The unarmed strike, short sword, requires a distance of 5 feet.
Exactly.
According to my map, I am about 60 feet away. The ray of frost goes 60 feet.
Yeah, that's a great option to try. Some characters, by way of the different feats and skills that they have, might also get a bonus action on their turn. You could use your action to attack with your sword. And then if you chose to use your bonus action, you could also then attack with your other hand with the dagger. There's certain pros and cons to doing that. You'd be using your bonus action up for your turn. Unless you're really proficient and skilled in two-weapon fighting, you won't get as many bonuses as you would with your primary hand.
I want to get a bit closer, and then I can do my 60-foot ray of frost. So that's 33 feet, 32, 31, 30. I'm going to put a ping there now.
Move Elwiz where you intend to move, and then
Okay.
I can move the horse along with you. You've basically ridden the
Nice.
horse to that point there. You've only used 25 feet of movement.
Can I try to freeze this bad boy?
Go ahead and roll to hit with your Ray of Frost. Nice roll. So you rolled a 20.
Yeah.
You can also flavor it up by describing the actual casting of the spell. You form this snowflake with your hands. This blue thin beam shoots out, slices through the air, and lands squarely onto the boar. Your attack roll has to be equal to or better than the adversary's armor class, and vice versa. With a 23, you overcame their armor class and you were able to hit it. Armor class is not just something wearing armor. It's the combination of their movement, if they have a thick hide, or if they're literally wearing armor. You now get to roll cold damage. And there's different kinds of damage, by the way. Cold, lightning, slashing, bludgeoning.
You gave a great description of what cast the spell. I was picturing a blow dart cold spray.
Oh, I like that. Illustrate and alliterate it creatively as you want. The spell itself may sometimes also give you some description to have fun with. So now you're going to roll on that 1d8.
Oh, that's the damage. Got it.
A 6 out of a 1d8 is better than average.
I thought it was a 9.
6 points of cold damage. Mark that on the boar. That puff of frigid air blasts up against some of its hide. A patch of it blows off. This gray mixed with blood oozes out from the damage you just
Wow.
dealt it. The Ray of Frost also has another effect. It takes the damage you rolled, and its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. Crystalline ice forms up around its joints, limiting its movement for a
Nice.
time. I'm going to mark it with a blue border color.
So the boy is chilled and hurt.
There's more. You still have 5 feet of movement left.
I see a piece of trash 5 feet away. I go and pick it up. So I just moved Elwiz.
A horse actually has more movement than you do. You can move 30 feet. They can move up to 60 feet per turn. You still have 30 more feet
There's no advantage to me getting right up in its face right now because I have to wait till the next round to do some more fighting.
That's a sound way of thinking tactically on a battle map or in a map scene like this.
So I'm done moving because even though I could, this is a good enough distance to wait out and see what happens with Casernia.
Which brings us to Casernia.
She's at 75 feet or so. If I get her in a similar position as Elwiz,
Go ahead and move Casernia, and I'll move the horse accordingly.
I would like to try some cool spell. You've got a lot of cool stuff here.
Look at all those options she has.
I'd like to try the Witch Bolt.
That's a fun one.
A beam of crackling blue energy lances out towards a creature, forming a sustained arc of lightning. I love it. I'm going to press the button. I got a B. What's a B?
Wow. There's something called a critical hit. It gives you the ability to roll an extra damage dice because you rolled so well on the
Wow.
hit. It's like sticking the landing. So let's go ahead and have you roll your damage.
I see 2 dice.
It rolled not 1d12, but 2d12. First d12 was an 8. The second was a 3. Combined, you did 11 points of lightning damage. You've chilled and zapped this poor boar.
We basically put him in the freezer and then put him in the microwave.
All in the matter of like 2 split seconds. There's another effect of the spell. You've connected with it electrically. You're now able to use your action to deal another d12 of lightning damage to the target automatically. Also, there's a pro and a con to this. As things go with your reserves of abilities, you've used a spell slot.
I'm doing so well, it seems, so far.
Draw the cards, luck of the dice, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But this is fantastic. You've been able to really lay into this boar. With your 11 points of damage, as the lightning starts to tear into like the sinew and the muscle and the mottled fur, it just blows it apart. Chunks of it go flying in every direction. It is dead.
Dude, that's crazy. So Elwiz is probably kind of like, so much for what I did.
Exactly. I love that. I think it plays back a little bit to that rivalry. Casernia does have a little movement left, so you can go another 4 squares.
I'm just going to go here.
You nudge the horse forward a little further, and you see that in addition to the remains of, well, what's left of the boar, some of the brush smoldering and smoking.
Smells good. So is there anything left to eat?
There's different things you can do in situations like maybe carve up some of the meat of a defeated creature.
Assuming it's edible.
Assuming it's edible, as Casernia finishes stepping forward and looks out, Pal is kind of watching this unfold right in front of her. Pal hears some rustling from behind. Charging out of the bush, another one of these boars. It's going to try to angle upwards and try to attack you on the horse. With these large tusks, as it's charging towards you, it's using a gore attack.
Uh-oh.
If it's able to land its tusks up into you,
Oh my God.
and getting some momentum behind it, it can do a little extra damage. This boar, it's about to roll its attack. So the boar rolled 4.
Okay.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say that 4 against Pal's armor class, which is...
18.
What is Pal wearing? Pal is wearing chainmail. This is a kind of heavy armor.
Oh, I
also
didn't
is
know that.
carrying a shield. So in
I knew,
combination,
yeah.
that really ups Pal's defense or armor class.
Yeah.
So as this boar charges forward, it didn't even strike armor. It missed so badly, it just kind of whiffed up in the air at you.
I was like, shoot, boar, shoot.
Because it still has some movement left, it's going to angle around away from the others behind you. But it's staying within melee range. If it moved away from you without a disengage action, you have the ability to do an attack of opportunity on it. It's turning its back, it's running away, and you get a chance to try to swipe
Got
at it
it.
if you have a weapon out. It's still trying to fight and it's staying engaged
Yeah.
with you within that
Yeah.
range. You hear off to the east this loud snort, kicking of dirt and brush.
Another one.
Another one comes charging out of the bush.
Doom, 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 doom.